Hello and welcome to another episode of FPL Escapades. My name is 𝗧𝗘, and as always, I'm joined by two of my best friends in 𝗥𝗘 and Anand to look at FPL assets for Game Week 31 after uh, what has been so game week for everybody who at least I know. Everybody scoring around 60, 70 with exceptions of some, and we'll get to that, Anand. I mean, interesting game week nonetheless. But yeah, looking forward to game week 31. Pretty interesting game week. Spurs and United face off each other, and so do Liverpool and Aston Villa. So great to have you back, boys. And how was game week 30, 𝗥𝗘, in a nutshell? And are you excited for the final stretch of the season?
Oh yeah, game week 30 was pretty good. Finally broke into the 100K bracket. So happy that
That's
way.
pretty nice.
Yeah, but looking forward to 31 as well. Like you spoke about the two juicy fixtures that we have. So I think the biggest upsets of the season, if you like to call it, Spurs beating United 6-1 and Villa doing so for like 7-2 against Liverpool. So yeah, looking forward to those two fixtures in particular.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And yeah, really pumped to get started with this episode and talk about FPL assets for Game Week 31. But yeah, before we look at in the future, I had a pretty decent Game Week 30. Kane captain returning a total of 26. Uh, rest pretty much like was on the lucky side with Diaz playing and also KDB giving a minimum of three, so that worked in my favor as well. Watkins returned, so did Martinez, even after scoring those save points. I mean, man, this guy doesn't stop, and it is amazing. Rafinha, the punt on him paid off as well. DCL not so much, but yeah, and as always, Bruno with the 5 pointer. But yeah, kudos to Anand. I remember he had Rashford, and Rashford did end up returning. United do look good. A little shaky in the beginning. I had my heart in my throat when Welbeck scored that first goal, but yeah, the second half was pretty good. And yeah, all in all of the teams stepping up their game. City as always, United as always too. Liverpool, the sleeping giants that people were talking about, is somewhere that I'm looking at for transfers in Diego Jota, which I'll just talk about in the next section. But yeah, Anand, how was your game week, man? How was game week 30, and what are your plans for 31? Excited or not?
Yeah, pretty excited, but 30 was bad. My midfield did wonders. Rafinha, like always, again returning with FPL points. Bruno was my captain. That was a return as well. Rashford, like you mentioned, scored a goal, and I had Salah who scored a goal again. So midfield did a pretty good job, but Bamford and Iheanacho blank. Only Watkins returned. So overall score of just 54 points. Um, not really good because I had red arrows. I think in this particular game week to have green arrows, I should have scored at least 65, but I felt like around 9 short, and because of that, not a really good game week. But yes, a big one coming up. Just because after game week 31 there'll be blanks and there'll be the double game week as well. So a big one coming up. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Akshay, walk us through your game week 31.
I think I ended up with 10 players, possibly because of Chelsea and Thomas Tuchel playing his Tambola, which I like to call it. And people are not wary of Pep Rule anymore because they are offloading the City assets week in, week out. And Chelsea, with their decent run of fixtures, people are loading up on their assets with their clean sheet potential as well. So I got in Marcus Alonso last week and happy with the 3 points considering they lost 5-2 to West Brom and going down to 10. But Rudiger not featuring alongside Gundo as well. That was a bummer for me. And not too gutted though, as I mentioned earlier as well. I just broke into the 100K bracket and looking for more green arrows in the final stretch of the season. And yeah, Harry Kane, captain, delivering the goods. Spurs dropping points. Jose whining all over again. So you love to see that. And Ollie Watkins, yeah, there's been a lot of talk about him being talented or not enough for the England team. So a lot of buff around that as well. Great to have him getting some returns and a bonus point for a change, which he does not usually get. So great to see that. And coming to DCL, I think he's been a disappointment for me personally, because if I was looking at the stats, I think he scored only 3 goals since game week 11. So not really sure when he's going to get into back into the same rhythm. But if not, I am personally looking to offload DCL, because Everton don't look really good, and with the likes of James Rodriguez coming back, I think DCL, he is not playing for in the central position anymore. You saw Richarlison get 30 chances probably. I don't know how many. He missed all of them. He missed all of them. But DCL, probably apart from the one chance that he could have got, which Coleman ended up squaring for James Rodriguez, that was the only chance. And yeah, let's see where it goes.
Yeah, interestingly enough, pretty correctly pointed out about DCL as well. Had he not been facing Brighton in the next game week, I would have thought of getting rid of him as well. But yeah, meanwhile, like you correctly pointed out, that there's a blank game week upcoming, and managers are likely offloading City assets, and that is what my plans are as well going into game week 31. So I this is presently the team that I'm with. I've already made my transfers. One transfer was an impulse transfer. I did not know. I cannot justify right now to myself why I did that. I think it was more to do with the kind of form that Lingard is in. But I just swapped him out for Suchek, which I thought I could have given Jota a shot because I wanted to look at that direction. So, but that mistake has been made. So hopefully Jesse continues his fine form and returns points as well. Next, I did offload Gundogan already. Since he did feature in the Champions League game. And I'd not say that City did. It was a walk in the park for City, and I feel that Pep will always have that at the back of his head that they still need to win when they go to Borussia Dortmund the next week. So I think that Gundo might be rested, and maybe KDB as well. He might manage his minutes because, like we've already been talking in the past weeks, that he's said already that he will definitely move in and out around 5 to 6 players each game week. He has that kind of squad depth as well. So that is something that is personally affecting me. But yeah, and inclined me towards getting rid of Gundogan because KDB, man, again, like he's a fulcrum for City. He showed that yesterday as well. Uh, so yeah, Diaz, he's been lucky for me than Cancelo owners since I've got him. I think on an overall percentage perspective, Diaz has got more points than Cancelo. So maybe next game week or before game week 33 is when I get rid of him, or I don't even mind him having on my bench. But yeah, I instead of Gundogan, I did get Neto in because I think Wolf have a good run of fixtures. That is something that I really like to play towards. And for some reason, Neto for me has passed the eye test. And since Jimenez has been missing, I think Neto has become that postman kind of a guy who's gets a goal here and there, provides an assist or a jammy assist or a scrappy assist, finds somebody at the end of the ball, and somebody does convert it. So that is where my alignment is going into game week 32. I do have one free transfer and I'm saving it for a Spurs player. Hopefully they turn it around. But yeah, that is the plan right now. And yeah, what do you guys think, man? Like, I agree that I could have gone for Jota instead of Lingard because I just transferred out Suchek to get him in. But all in all, I'm pretty happy with my team that is going to play next game week. And yeah, for my transfers, like I said, Gundo to Neto and Suchek to Lingard. So, do you guys have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think Lingard versus Jota is probably heart versus head. So sometimes you have to listen to the heart, and the guy is in absolute. He's having a great run of games, and if I'm not wrong, he's played 8 games for West Ham with 6 goals and 3 assists. So not too bad. I mean, for a squad player at United, he's probably driving that West Ham team. And despite them losing Antonio to a hamstring injury, if you remember the runs he made, although shambolic defending by Wolves, to be honest. But he was getting into amazing positions and driving the ball. And if you remember the Berbatov turn that he made, so amazing. Even Berbatov shared that. Yeah, great to see him in lighting it up for West Ham.
Yeah, absolutely. So Anand, do you feel that like you stuck with Salah and he ended up returning points, or do you feel that Liverpool would have been a better pick than going for Lingard, or should I have kept Gundo and instead gotten rid of somebody like Diaz for the upcoming game week?
No, I think Lingard is in form. Jota is in form too. But overall, Liverpool, you never know what you're gonna get from Liverpool at the moment. You know, teams have found a way to defend Liverpool because usually Liverpool rely on their fullbacks, and they are just finding a way to stop those crosses. But yes, Liverpool, they are a good team undoubtedly. But the picks that you have brought in, say Neto, because he has like a sea green of fixtures, and like you mentioned as well, he's passing the eye test. Although he missed a lot of chances, but most of those chances were sort of reactionary chances, like
I mean, you still
it
have
just
some
fell.
as well.
Yeah, I mean he should have, but they were sort of like reactionary chances, sort of like somebody took a shot and it just bounced to him and he couldn't react in time, something like that. But yeah, there's no doubt about Neto, playing decent bit of football at the moment, and the fixtures look good too. But yeah, Wolves are a very defensive team, so let's see what are they going to offer in the weeks coming forward. Also, Jimenez, because Jimenez is not there, so Neto is finding it difficult to find somebody, very clinical. They don't have a clinical force right now, but Neto can be the talisman and not a bad move. Regarding Jesse, I guess you can't just talk anything bad about him right now because he's shutting all those mouths. He's playing really well for West Ham. West Ham looks like after scoring a couple of goals, West Ham just suddenly looks like a different team because they come out with a lot of intent, they attack really well. But after scoring a couple of goals, they just drop deep, and they were pretty lucky to win the game 3-2 because they were just defending in that game. But this thing happened even against Arsenal. They were winning comfortably against Arsenal and then went on to draw. But yeah, for fantasy managers, that's not a worry at all because if West Ham, can keep on scoring 3 goals and then concede 3, so Lingard is definitely going to be amongst the points, especially with Antonio out. But yeah, another point regarding West Ham defenders for everybody else who is not brought in Lingard is Antonio is unfit now, and we don't know for how long. So till the time Antonio was there, he has a big presence, and because of Antonio, Antonio draws a lot of defenders on him, and because of that, it leaves a lot of spaces for other players. So let's see how that goes for Lingard and Neto. But yeah, they are really inspiring picks at the moment because both of them are quite in a bit of form. Yeah.
Pretty great points, man. And like right back at you, what are your plans for Game Week 31? What are your transfer plans, and who do you plan to get in and ship out?
Anyway, so yeah, so this game week, like you said, even I've made the transfer. I've not waited for the press cons for the first time. The reason being, I know that Jota is somebody who'll see an exponential rise in price, and I think I got him for 6.7, and he's already 6.9.
Yeah.
So that was the thought process. And because I knew that even if Jota is injured, say in the Champions League match that just happened yesterday and Liverpool lost 3-1, even if Jota is injured, I still had an able midfielder in Rafinha who could have come in and played. So that was one reason that I went early this time. Now, after watching Foden score against Dortmund, and I don't know what's going to happen against Leeds. Will Foden start or not? He's been resting for a long time. Will Guardiola play Foden? Because Foden missed a lot of chances against Dortmund yesterday. So I don't know if he's going to start Foden in the second leg or not. So, and maybe gives Foden another go. So I don't know if this is a good move by me or not. But then with Foden, you don't never know if he's going to start or not. It's just becoming really difficult to predict which City lineup going to play because they are in 4 tournaments and they are eyeing all 4 tournaments. They are in semis of FA Cup, finals of Carling Cup, and Dortmund has scored an away goal. So Dortmund, although they lost 2-1, but they have this away goal, and now Dortmund will be playing at home. So really crucial fixtures coming up for City. So it's really, really difficult to bring in a player. But let's see how it goes. Maybe there was a slight, you know, kind of slight bit of thought process running in my head regarding playing wildcard this game week. I just want, because City playing Leeds, ideally I would have loved to have Sterling or KDB in my team, because it is the kind of form KDB is in. I think after the injury, he's just looking just more lethal. Uh, he's playing so up top and so through the middle. Last year, towards the end of the season, we saw KDB dropping deep and letting the likes of Sterling play forward, but this time he's just playing so central and just looking so good at the moment, uh, that the kind of even with the kind of um, form, with the kind of rotation that City has, it's still worth it, because if suppose City are maybe 0-0 or 1-0 down against Leeds, then and if KDB doesn't start, then he is the go-to man for Guardiola, and he's definitely going to get him in. Again, regarding Gundo, I don't know if he's going to play or not. It's a big question. But yes, Gundo did not play against Leicester, so and then he played against Dortmund, so he has had a rest. Uh, but yeah, it's difficult to predict that if Gundo can play against Leeds or not. But if Gundo does, then again he is in top form too. And maybe this time we'll see KDB going out, and like against Leicester, KDB played and Gundo was on the bench. So maybe this time it will be KDB going out and Gundo taking up that number 6, number 8, or a 10 sort of a role against Leeds. So maybe that can happen as well. But yeah, never know. You never know with Guardiola what's gonna happen. So as of now, it's just Jota. I think I'll hold wildcard for one more week, and I'll just stick to this team. This is the team as of now. What do you think, boys? Any Anything you want to add? Because I'm really
I
worried regarding Salah and Jota. Both Liverpool players. But yeah, boys, over to you. What do you think, guys?
No, I personally am pretty intrigued that you have a triple up on Leeds yet with Bamford, Rafinha, and Dallas with the next three upcoming fixtures. Pretty tough. We do know that they're Leeds, they're capable of scoring goals, but they're also pretty leaky. And the kind of form that City and United are in right now, uh, do you have any plans to ship all of them out in your when you use your wildcard, or do you intend on trusting Bielsa football and the three assets that you have for Leeds?
That's an interesting question, actually. Rafinha stays no matter what. So again, even against United, when they lost 6-2, Dallas scored in that match. Rafinha gave a couple of assists. And when they played City, it was a 1-1 draw the last time when they played City. Uh, so yeah, they can score against the big boys too. In the first match against Liverpool, they lost 4-3, but then again scored 3 goals. Even against Chelsea, they lost the match, but Bamford scored a goal in that match. So be rest assured that this team will attack. Yes, Bamford's not clinical at all, but because of the number of chances he gets, um, it he's okay. He may not be at Sterling's level, but Sterling, we know how many chances he misses. But even then, Sterling keeps on scoring 20 goals a season, and that's just because the amount of chances he gets. Although this season it's a different thing for Sterling, but Bamford, I was just checking his stats, and he's probably the fourth highest point returner this season, behind Salah. Um, uh, he's fifth actually. He's behind Salah, Son, Kane, and Bruno. So he's fifth, and that just speaks a lot about him. He's getting into those key areas. Let's see how Bielsa will play in the coming game week. If Bamford is just out of favor, that's a different thing altogether. But if Bielsa persists with Bamford, I don't see any reason to remove him. All the other stats also looks pretty good on Bamford, be it his G+A per 90 minutes or his NPXG is not bad too. And he's a sort of a striker who likes creating goals too, not like Harry Kane, of course, but yeah, he's there too. He's one of the top strikers, creating chances. And with Antonio out, I don't see there are other able candidates, who are fixed and nailed sort of. So I don't really see the other title candidates. That's my thought process as of now. Maybe Dallas, I'll remove him, but I was just checking Dallas. He hardly blanks in like 2 or 3 games at a stretch, and after a 2-3 game period, he always comes up with a return. So that's not a bad ploy, especially one guy that I'm looking forward to remove is Alonso on my wild card. If that's gonna happen, yeah, Alonso will move out, and I'll probably get in somebody. Not really sure after what Chelsea did against West Brom, but probably a Chelsea defender, somebody who's nailed. Let's see where it goes. Akshay, you have any questions regarding this team for 21?
I am just surprised that you have two Liverpool players in your team. So yeah, maybe the tide is turning for Liverpool, probably with the run of fixtures as well. But
Yeah,
Foden, I really don't know. Like the point that you made that Foden might not start the away fixture, like the return leg, that might well be the case because I was looking at the Leeds fixture that City eventually ended up 1-1, and there was heavy rotation in that fixture as well. The likes of Ferran Torres and Mendy, all those guys started, so you could see the same in this particular fixture as well. And I won't be surprised if both Stones and Diaz are rotated for the likes of Ake or Laporte maybe. So you could easily
yeah,
see quite a lot of players miss out, and that's where my thinking as well is because I have a City triple up myself, and currently planning to hold on to them for one last fixture possibly because with Leeds you never know if they start they might easily haul and since Bielsa and Guardiola, they are masters of the game. So Guardiola would obviously want to get one over him after the draw because if you remember the last game, they had a long discussion after the game as well. They were talking a lot, and when those two guys talk, and you can see like it's two footballing brains getting together. So I am really looking forward to that game as well because I think Guardiola will rotate a lot, and FPL managers could suffer. But coming to my transfer plans, I still don't have a transfer plan, to be really honest. You can see three of them. So I certainly won't be doing a -8. It would either be one of them. So the first possible transfer move for me would be DCL to Lacazette, and Lacazette is probably in my radar because if you look at his recent form, his last three games, probably like last three starts, apart from the Liverpool blank, he scored in all of them, and those fixtures were not easy games, mind you. They were against Leicester, Spurs, and West Ham, so not too easy sides to score against, and three goals and an assist in those three starts, not too bad for Lacazette, and looking forward to his game against Slavia Prague tomorrow. So if he does not start that game, that might make that transfer even more juicy. And coming to the midfield option that I have is a straight swap from Gundo to Jota, which I probably should have done like you because very smart move getting him in at 6.7 right now. He's 6.9, and I could easily have done that myself as well. So coming to the defense, Pascal Struijk is certainly out of favor right now because of the return of Llorente in defense. So just doing a straight swap at that price for Nat Phillips, who looks like a solid defender for Liverpool, because him and Kabak are probably they probably played the most number of minutes alongside each other. So there were stats being rotated that this is a new centre back pair. But right now it's probably settled, and those two are there to stay. So a defender for 4 million with that run of fixtures, I am certainly looking at that because the team that I have, the defense in particular, Cancelo, Rudiger, and Alonso, it's rotation risky. Like all three of them are rotation risks. So I need to have defenders who can probably come in, and likewise I faced that in the last game week as well because I did not have someone to come in. So that was a disappointment for me. And yeah, that's my plan. What do you guys think?
When I look at this team, I feel like I'm pretty fairly impressed and looks like a pretty balanced team. I personally wouldn't triple up on Chelsea assets like ever. But yeah, given that Tuchel has come and they're having good run of form till the last game week, was pretty good to see. But yeah, I was very happy actually when I went into the mini league and saw that you got Alonso and Rudiger and Mount. Mount, luckily for you, came off the bench and then returned.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was uh, I'm sure like it would be pretty interesting to as an FPL manager to take a punt like this. So that is all that my concern is, and yeah, and all of the talk that you said to Anand about a feeling that Liverpool tide is turning. It seems so that you fairly have ample amount of eyes on their FPL assets as well. Phillips definitely a great shout. Jota, I hope that I do not regret not getting him in and getting Lingard and Neto, because I could easily have afforded him. But yeah, all in all, I feel like a fairly balanced team. And since you have a similar goalkeeper pairing, so I'm just gonna ask you a question: who do you fancy for Game Week 31? Do you fancy starting Martinez or McCarthy?
I think McCarthy is certainly out of favor with Fraser Forster coming into the picture, so he's certainly not going to start. So, why do you want to remove Martinez when he's giving you 4 points, even after conceding goals, racking up the saves, and he looks like a decent option, like right up to the end of the season. And mind you, Aston Villa have a game in hand as well, so another double coming up. We don't know when that will happen, but it's going to come up, and he's going to be in everyone's team all over again. So just keep him in and pay your trust in him, and he's delivering you the points. So no plans to change my keeper as such. Yeah.
Yeah, well, makes sense, man. Absolutely. And now
But
in hindsight,
yeah, sorry, Ritesh. I just wanted to add, maybe you can maybe keep McCarthy because he's playing West Brom, and if he doesn't play, then Martinez definitely comes in because in case if you go for Jota, then you are in any which way you're planning, you want Jota to score. So yeah, just in case you're going for Jota, then maybe you can start with McCarthy just in case he starts. So that won't be, that's the same reason why I'm starting Foster. I don't know if he's gonna start or not, but if he doesn't, then Martinez comes on. But
yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
that's
And I think I am in the reason of my asking that question is because I am in a similar dilemma that I have Martinez and Target both. And even though I do favor Aston Villa over Liverpool because of personal reasons, I still do not want my two of my defensive assets to be playing the similar, a similar fixture because it can go either ways. If Liverpool score, which they always seem like, I do not want to get rid of two clean sheets. So I'm definitely, I think Anand will, I'll go your way. I'll start McCarthy. And if he doesn't play, then Martinez comes in automatically. So yeah, that is something that I'm going to do. But yeah, a great discussion regarding all of our plans for Game Week 31. But again, as always, the most important question, Anand, are you again going for Bruno as your captain pick or Salah? Uh, because I think the last time over you said Salah and you ended up going with Bruno, if I'm not wrong, or you said Bruno and you went with Bruno.
No, I
Uh,
went. I said Bruno, and I went with Bruno too. This time,
okay.
after listening to your accusations, I might go with Bruno now. Okay. No, I mean, I don't know. I'm not really sure. Yeah, Salah scored a couple of goals in the reverse fixture, and Bruno scored a penalty in that 6-1 Lamela drubbing. I call it the Lamela drubbing because had he not poked Martial, we would have seen a different game for sure.
Luckily enough,
If
Martial won't be
Buna,
there this time to get poked. So we won't be going
yeah,
down to
yeah,
10
and
men.
Buna, if you're listening, game on, brother. So yeah, I might just go with Bruno, but yeah, Salah looks like the player because he scored a couple of goals. He's on penalties too, and I don't know. I'm not really sure, but yeah, it's going to be between the two. As of now, it's Salah. If I don't make any changes, forget the deadline, there's the captain's armband and Salah as of now. But yeah, I'm really tempted for Bruno as well because United United will remember that 6-1 and they will come out in a different way altogether. And I fancy the likes of Rashford and Bruno playing against Tanganga and some similar pronunciation. They have this um, defender, similar pronunciation to Foden, Roden or something. I
Road
don't
on.
know.
Yeah.
Rodon, okay. So I really fancy Bruno and Rashford against them, and probably Cavani too up top playing. and the form that Mason Greenwood is in.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
don't.
That's a good shout as well.
Let's see. What
Yeah,
about you, boys?
Akshay, you're going with KDB this time around?
Yeah, I personally have that in my head that he might easily be benched, but you also have to remember that if City are in a spot of bother, like Anand mentioned, KDP will probably be the first man who Pep brings on, and when he comes in into that City midfield, he actually drives the game for them. So he was very unlucky in the last game as well. I think he delivered a lot of amazing crosses and final through balls, and you saw Jack Grealish appreciating KDB last night, so there's something going on there, and let's hope he does not go to City. And talking about Jack Grealish, he'll be facing Trent Alexander-Arnold against Liverpool. So looking forward to that battle after last night's so-called revenge. Liverpool were meant
Hoping for
to.
a couple of assists from Trent as well, Jack Grealish, isn't he?
Yeah, so Liverpool were meant to take a Salah revenge last night, but that didn't go out so well, and Vinicius Junior spoiled the party. So, yeah, enjoying not
And
being in
yes,
the Champions League for a change.
absolutely. And there's so much crying that they did not have Van Dijk for that game. Madrid were without Varane and Sergio Ramos. So, yeah, but you win games when you score goals, and Real Madrid did do that. My captain pick right now is DCL just because he has a favorable fixture. I might go with KDB. Definitely not either Kane or Bruno. I don't fancy them for this fixture particularly. I still have a feeling that I might go differential kind of on DCL or maybe take a punt on Neto because I feel that the only way that I'm going to catch Akshay in our mini league is to play a differential captain and hopefully he pays off because I think triple captain will be a lot of people will be playing the triple captain game week 32. It might be on Kane or Son or because of the double game week, or people might wait for Aston Villa as well. But yeah, as always, I think that there's no right game week to play triple captain. There are wrong game weeks like the one with Mane, but there are not no right game weeks to play the triple captain. But yeah, that is my thinking, boys. I think I'll this week I'll try and target the easier fixtures. I have already done that for my transfers, and I think for captain pick also that is something that I'll go with. So yeah, all in all, I think a pretty interesting time, the final stretch of the season, and at FPL Escapades as well. This has been quite a journey. We're about to complete our first full season of covering FPL and putting out content, and it's all made possible because of our supporters and listeners. Thank you so much, guys. If you're new here, please do consider hitting the subscribe button. It is free and it really helps us a lot to grow here on YouTube. All of our social media handles are down in the description. We hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you did, do hit the like button. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for all of your support. Do follow us on Twitter, engage on there, and we hope that you have a great game week 31. We hope you enjoyed this one. As always, have a good one, and may the others be with you.